A lot of tape in there. When you're taping an athlete and you can't use your hip to control their foot at 90 degrees, you're actually using a hand. You have to stick it into something. So using your belt buckle is a good way to do it, because if you jam it into your belt buckle, then you've got a stable surface over which to work. So make sure you're keeping that hand splayed and stabilized. Jam it into your belt buckle. Sometimes this athlete, all they need to do is have those styloid processes locked in right between sort of where the styloid comes down and the carpals start. So keeping the fingers splayed, I'm actually just going to put it on quite tight as I start to climb. That's it. That's all they require. And that feels good for athletes who have carpal instability. Now, if I was to take it a step further, this is called the contact or the boxer's wrap, contact wrist. Flip this way. I can start with a base strip like that, and now I'm going to do a continuous series. So this is the way I started. It always comes up through the palm. But I start by circling the wrist until it starts to climb. If it's not ready to climb, like I don't want to force it to climb, then I'm going to keep going around until I hit the anatomy that's going to slick it across here. So I go around again. I don't want to do it too tight because I know that you're probably going to, it's already getting too tight for you with that extra strip. Okay, so there it went around, keeping it smooth. Now I get to this part of the anatomy, it brings it right up here. So that's just my start. Now I'm going to ask him to flip, and I'm going to go through a series. This is all continuous. I come down, I go up, so I've made an X here on the back of the hand, and then I'm going to put a bar across the top of that X. So every time I come through the web space, I pinch the tape, and I've just put a bar across the top. So I've got an X with a bar. What I do to one side, I'm now going to do to the other side. Flip. So I come down. So it's, like I said, an X. I come up. I'm going to put a bar across the top. So there's the X, bar across the top. So sometimes you see like boxers doing this really fast or martial artists doing this really fast. There is an actual method to the madness. Flip. All right. So I put an X and a bar on the back, an X and a bar on the front, and I'm going to do it again. I do it twice each side. So I just have to go through that whole configuration again. Bar across the top. Flip. Come down. I go up. Bar across the top. And you're going to make it smoother without wrinkles. If you have a small hand, it's hard to do, right? This is a good size hand. This is a good size hand. I'm just saying on some of the ladies, it will be very hard.
Be under the giant.
Yeah, you know, really, if you could get a big hand to practice on, it'd be most useful. Now, I've gone around twice on each side, twice of the configurations. Now to finish it off, I'm going to lock in the thumb. So I come down, I go up and lock in the thumb and finish on the back of the hand. Okay? And so there's quite a bit of tape there, but it feels really good if you get it all locked in. And what I always like to do is make sure you use your hand to mold and give your partner a handshake and really mold it in there so it feels nice and tight. What you're trying to avoid is knuckles. And this will like loosen up really fast. But if you avoid the knuckles, they have full flexion, but they have that carpal bone locked in. Okay, and that's what you will see the boxers, or that's what you'll see the martial artists. And sometimes they tape it and then they put their boxing glove over top.